You are about to learn how to trade on Blofin, which is a phenomenal crypto exchange with great liquidity and access to meme coin markets and so on as well. This is going to be a painless, easy to follow tutorial on how to use the platform. And I'm also going to give you one of my favorite strategies in this market that you can deploy on Blofin right now across even meme coins and stuff like that in this video. So the very first step we've got to go through is looking at the description down below. You're going to find this link to Blofin right here where you can sign up with no KYC. They're not going to ask you for a picture of yourself or your ID. That is a policy on this exchange right now. And you're going to get thousands of dollars in bonuses when you start trading on this platform. So it's a super painless process. Just put in your email address, create a password, and that's it. And now that we're on the other side of that, I'm going to go through the markets with you. I'm going to go through how to use this exchange and all of that good stuff. But before we even start with that, I want to start the process of actually depositing some funds on this platform so that while we're going through it, this deposit is actually going to credit. It's probably only going to take a couple of minutes. So just heading on over to the assets tab up top on your phone, it's going to look very simple as well. And then funding over here and just click on deposit. I'm going to start with USDT and I'm going to select the ERC20 network because I'm sending this across Ethereum. And because this is just, another account I'm making to make a tutorial for you guys, I'm just going to deposit about $100. Going to go ahead and click copy and send the crypto onto the exchange. All right, and that was actually faster than I could show you because the transfer is already complete. That literally took like 2 minutes, I think, less than that. And we already have the funds. But on the off chance that you don't already have crypto, this buy crypto tab up top over here actually allows you to buy crypto if you don't already have any crypto to deposit. So that's absolutely cool. I'm still actually pretty impressed by how quick that deposit was. If we do actually head on over to the top right over here, you can see that I do now have that first $100 credited into the account. That's in my funding account. We're not going to talk about this just yet. I want to show you where the fun stuff is. And this is actually, in my opinion, the most important part about using Blofin, or one of the most important parts, because you can actually see all of the big markets here that are tradable. This is obviously the futures section, which is the main thing I'm going to be focusing on. And you can sort this by, a bunch of different things. We can sort this by volume, so we can see the most traded assets. For example, not USDT right here, having $850 million in volume, which is great over here. And of course, we've got our spot tab up top over here, which is also, just going to take you into the trading portal. And don't worry, by the way, if any of this is overwhelming, if any of this is kind of like, whoa, what am I looking at? You are going to understand all of this from top to bottom by the end of this video. Like I said, I promised you it's going to be painless, and you can drop a comment down below telling me that it's painless at the end of this video, so that anyone who's nervous can see that. But we're going to get completely familiarized with all of this. We've got our futures tab here. We've got our copy trading tab here, so you can actually see some of the top traders on the Blofin platform. You can see what kind of ROI they're pulling. You can dive deep into their profit and loss statements. You can see how things have been going across time for them. There are some very important metrics that you guys might be curious about, such as the Sharpe ratio. And you can also see what this trader prefers to trade. And best of all, you can just click copy and you can start copying this guy with his trades here, which is fantastic. So you've actually basically got a marketplace of all of this stuff on Blofin right here. When this page loads up, I think it's my connection right here, and you'll be able to see kind of everybody that is allowing you to copy their trades. So you can sort by a bunch of different things here. So this is actually going to be pretty cool if you just want to kind of park your money up and you see somebody that you like. If we head on over to the Earn tab, this is where you can actually stake your crypto, and it's going to show you what kind of yield you get. Now, I don't like these kind of things, and I don't want to kind of recommend this to anybody. I'm not recommending anything because I'm nobody's financial advisor, but the reason I don't like this is because it kind of forces you to keep your money on the exchange. So look, for most people, that's going to be completely okay, but I just don't think it's good practice. However, if you're holding USDT anyway, if you're holding Bitcoin, Ethereum anyway, and you like the idea of getting, a little bit of interest on it because, why not? Then fair enough. You can actually do that right here on Blofin as well, which is absolutely great. So you've got a couple other things here, including your welcome bonus area, activity centers, affiliate, if you want to refer people to the exchange and so on as well. You're also going to find some more information on just how you can get free cash in your account. This is cash that you can trade with. This is cash that will be used as, discounts on fees and stuff like that. So this is super, super cool. It's just going to tell you what you have to do. Let's move on over to the assets tab actually, and we're just going to look at the overview right here. We've got our funding account, and you can't do anything with the money in your funding account. Okay, this is actually really nice because when you first deposit your money here, it's going to live in your funding, which means that you can't accidentally trade with it, you can't accidentally lose it and stuff like that. But obviously I want to be able to put this money to use. So the first thing I'm going to do is head on over to the funding account. I'm just going to click on this arrow right here. We can see that I've got my $100 of USDT in here. I'm going to go ahead and click on these 3 arrows and click transfer. And here it's going to allow me to choose which coin I'm going to transfer. I only have USDT, so I only have one option. And I'm going to go from my funding account into my futures account. My futures account is where I'm going to be living primarily. And I can click transfer all, but let's say I'm not quite ready to trade with all of that money. I don't want it to be accessible to me. I can just go ahead and put in, say, $55. I think for this one, I'm going to put in, we'll go for $85. I'll leave 15 in reserve and go ahead and click confirm. I've now got $15 in my funding account. It told me success up top over there. And if I head on over to my futures account, I can see right now I have $85 here ready to trade. I've got a P&L analysis button here where I can actually analyze how my account has been growing or losing money as well, which is absolutely fantastic. And of course, we're going to be focusing on growing the accounts. And like I said, I'm going to be showing you some pretty cool, exciting strategies that can actually work very, very well with Blofin later on in this video. So definitely make sure that you are smashing up the like button and staying tuned for that a little bit later on in this video. And of course, if you want to continue to get round the clock analysis from me, very, very time sensitive content, then just double check that you are actually subscribed to the YouTube channel using this nice button right here as well. But if we do head on over back to the exchange here, now that we've got some money in here, I think the first thing I want to do is just go ahead and look at the markets again. And we can also start scrolling through, for example, the coins that are hot for today. We can look at only the coins that are meme coins, and once we're here we can actually go ahead and look at volume, for example, or even percentage change, right? I think this is actually a really useful thing to be able to do. Today is obviously a bit of a green day, so we don't have many losers in the market, but one of the reasons I really like this is because I can actually sort this in the meme coin section by percentage change, and I can see that, this coin lost 7% today, and then I can go ahead and click on it. And the reason that's interesting to me is because we know that actually, lately at the time of me recording, meme coins have been popping off. So anytime that there's a red day, to me, that's actually a buying opportunity. That's actually something I'm interested in to potentially pick up some of these coins and maybe even trade them. And I think, just based off this chart, we can already do some technical analysis here. I'm not going to bore you too much with that in this video, but I've already spotted that this is already a potential buy zone right here. And I guess, since we're here, let's roll with it and take a look at what this means. This is potentially a buy zone that I'd be interested in. Now, I also don't want you guys to fall into the trap of charting on exchanges. You have much better charts available to you on TradingView. TradingView is also linked in the description below. And the reason I like TradingView is it's just a much more comprehensive platform that you can use to chart these coins, right? And if you've got a more comprehensive option, then you definitely should be using it. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is, I'm just going to pick whatever. We'll just go for people on Bybit here because it looks like this is one of the best available charts. And I think quite clearly we already have some previous resistance right here that we are potentially flipping into support. So you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and put an order in right now, and we're going to roll with this and see what this kind of trade looks like. And the way I'm going to do that is by first clicking cross. I'm going to turn this into isolated and hit confirm. That is very important for me because I don't trade on cross leverage. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set my stop loss about 8% below, which means that my maximum leverage I'm happy with today is 2. You can definitely go quite high, but I'm a conservative trader, so I'm going for 2. I'm an old man in that way. I could go for 3 actually. I'm going to go for 3x leverage today. And that's how I'm going to be changing my leverage. I'm going to go ahead and select limit over here. And actually, I think before I continue, let's go ahead and minimize this as much as we can. We don't really want to be looking at that. We don't want to focus on this too much either. Basically, this just shows you this is the prices people want to sell the coin at. This is the prices people want to buy it at. But we don't really care about that either. All we need to do is see the current price. Up top over here, we've got the coin that we're trading, the current price, the 24-hour change. Index price means the price of this coin across other exchanges. So it's a nice kind of average because sometimes on the particular exchange you're trading on, there is a lot of crazy shit going on and you don't really want to trust that price. The index price is always going to be a more real price, and I think it's the best thing to be looking at. Mark price is basically the same thing, and here 24-hour high and low telling you where this coin has traded and the volume here. The funding rate is interesting. It tells you what you get paid if you hold a position open, or what the fee is if you hold the position open. But if you don't know what that means, you definitely don't have to worry about it right now. And since we're already kind of at that buy zone, I'm probably just gonna, for the purpose of this tutorial, show you how to set a limit order. I'm seeing a potential buy being at 0.1248, right? I'm gonna go ahead with that. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna type that in 0.1248 USDT. That's gonna be my buy level for people right here. I'm going to keep it to best bid offer right here as it is. I'm going to keep it to BBO right here. And I can actually just slide this slider across, which is very, very useful to select. For example, if I put it at 100%, that's going to use 100% of my money, which in this case is $85. You can see the cost of this trade if we zoom in and get really intimate with this right here. Hopefully you can see that. I'm actually going to take off my camera so that this is no problem for you to see. You'll be able to see right here, we've got an $85 cost for this trade. If I want to use just 50% of my capital, there you go. I've got about a $42 trade size right now. I'm going to go ahead and stick to 50%. I think that's a nice little middle ground right here to demonstrate this trade. And I'm also going to check this box. This is the TPSL box, and it allows me to set a take profit immediately. So let's say I'm entering basically here. Let's say I want to close the trade up at 14 cents. I can go ahead and type that in. So 0.1395. I'm just going to go ahead and put that in because that's the number I chose. And this is a mandatory take profit, right? If my order opens and it goes up to that level, I'm already going to be taking profits, which is absolutely fantastic. And I'm also going to set a stop loss, which is going to be at 0.112. And what number is that? 48. And that's going to be my stop loss. And now I'm just going to go ahead and click buy. The next thing that's going to happen here is it's going to allow me to review everything. It's going to show me the price that I'm buying, the amount of tokens that I'm buying, the leverage I'm using, the type of leverage. I'm always going to be using isolated. I'm just going to change the leverage number. It's going to show me what level I definitely want to be out of the market at, non-negotiable, and how I want to go out of that. I'll show you that in just a second. And the level that, if the trade doesn't go in my favor, what level do I really need to get out at, until I'm not willing to tolerate that loss anymore. So that's going to be very, very important. Now, the market here actually refers to how we make that trade, right? So originally we were on market already. I actually selected limit. And what that means is I get to choose which price I enter the trade at, right? So if you're in a rush and you just really want to get into the trade, you're going to select market because it's just going to enter you at the market price, right? Whatever the market is at, it's just going to throw you into the market, and you're going to pay a big fee and you might not even get the entry you want, right? If you've got a lot of money that you're throwing into the market and you're selecting a market order, then you're actually going to push it up. And it's like, imagine it's like buying 10 houses with a lot of money and you're not willing to wait for better prices. That's what market means. On the flip side here, limit, which is what we've selected, is where you're actually going to pay lower fees, and that's something I want you to prioritize because it's good practice. You're going to be paying lower fees, and you'll be able to select the exact number that you enter at. You will not trade this at a different price as long as this works properly, and it definitely should, so that you will only pay to get your tokens at this price. And if the price doesn't go down here, or if it doesn't go down here for long enough, then you're just not going to get your tokens. You're not going to get your position open here. So, that's useful because when you're entering a trade, you really care about where you enter. But if your trade is losing you money, then you might not want to be picky. You might want to rush out of a position, and that's where market comes in, right? So for our stop loss, if the market is going against my direction, I don't want to stay in the market if things are looking bad, right? I've already selected 3x leverage and I'm looking at an 8.6% loss, right? So 8.6 multiplied by 3 is going to be my loss, which puts me at about, let's say 27%. And I don't want to lose anything more than 27%, okay? And I certainly don't want to risk that the market doesn't even close, that the exchange doesn't even close my trade. So I'm actually quite happy to have market selected here. And it's the same thing for my take profit. I'm already making money. I don't care. So I'm going to go ahead and click confirm. And because of where the price is now, since I was talking, the price has gone down a little bit. We've actually already entered this trade. So that's super exciting. Just within a matter of 1 or 2 minutes, right? I mean, if I wasn't making this tutorial from signing up to deposit to trading, this is already done and I'm already in a profit. And what are we looking at here? So we've got the coin that I'm trading here. If you've got multiple positions, it's going to be stacked over here. We've got the amount of coins that I bought. We've got how much money I put in. All right, this is how much money I put in before applying leverage. And we've got the current profit and loss. So it's going to tell it to me in dollars and in percent. It's going to tell me my liquidation price, which means that if I don't have a stop loss, this is my total loss. This is where I would make 100% loss if the price goes down here. That's at 8.4 cents here. It's telling me the mark price and the margin ratio here. And I can actually start to close out my trade using some of these buttons as well. I can close just a partial amount, let's say 20%, and hit close. It's going to tell me what my estimated profit and loss is. This is just based on the current price, or I can just go ahead and click close all, and the reverse button will actually allow me to turn this long position into a short position. So if I decide, you know what, I've changed my mind and this is the wrong trade, or the market is looking really bad right now and I just don't want to stay in, then I can choose to completely flip it and make this a short position and actually start profiting from the downside, which is absolutely fantastic. These are actually features which aren't really common in my experience. So that is very, very cool as well. And that's all we've got here. That's basically the trade already entered. Since I entered the trade, because I've got you watching, we did have some very, very small profits, which is absolutely fantastic. And I think just for the purposes of this, I want to show you what it looks like to start closing some of this position. We can go ahead and, we've got to select the market price. And then, just for example, 50% close at market. We can see that my position size has shrunk by 50%. We can see that my available balance has come up by $20, which is half of what I put in. And that allows me to manage my position just nice and easily on the fly right there. So I can also choose a couple different options there. And now I'm just going to go ahead and choose close all, and that trade is fully closed. So obviously I can keep that open for as long as I like, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, if I've already got a trade open, and let's say I want to set a stop loss manually, I can use reduce only, which means that I can put in a limit order and I can choose to only reduce a trade with that order, which means that it cannot possibly increase a position. It cannot possibly open a position. It can only reduce an already existing position, which is actually really useful if you don't want to accidentally expand on a position, or if you don't want to accidentally open a position, right? There might be a level where you're pretty happy taking profits, but you're not happy accidentally switching to the other side or accidentally increasing your position. So reduce only is like a really nice insurance button. And again, like I said, in terms of good practice, I want you guys to be in the habit of avoiding fees on these exchanges, but also to be in the habit of just using good practice when you're using these kind of buttons like reduce only, because it's just going to help you prevent disasters in your trading, which I think is really, really important. Now, on the note of leverage here, we have selected 3, and obviously what that means is whatever I'm putting in is going to get multiplied by 3. Okay, so I put in $40 at the very beginning, and that's going to mean that my actual trade size is worth $120. And you can think of this as like a house mortgage, right? You're going to put down your initial capital. The bank will give you the loan, and that is how you actually trade in these markets. Now, obviously, things are so much more streamlined here. You don't have to go through that clunky process, because the way you're even able to get these funds from the exchange is because you're just paying enormous fees. That's just the default. There is nothing different in the crypto space, unfortunately. The default is that you pay fees, but hopefully you're going to notice that it's not even that bad. If we take a look at my balance now, I lost 11 cents on that trade, and there was even some market fluctuations, right? So the fees are nominal. The fees are really nothing too crazy at all, but they do collect those fees to give you that capital, and you don't have to worry about, would I not have access to this later on and stuff like that. That is the business model. They're always going to give it to you, and you can choose how much you get, right? So if you choose 5x leverage, for example, it's going to multiply your profits and your losses by 5x. But what you have to keep in mind is that, if you were using 5x, if you actually managed to produce a 20% loss, then that's going to be a total loss of your funds, right? Because minus 20% multiplied by 5 is negative 100%, okay? And that's going to be a total loss of funds. It goes a little bit deeper than that because you're not actually just going to lose, minus 20%. You're probably going to have a total loss at about minus 19.5%. And that 0.5% margin, that's actually what the exchange gets in their pocket for your bad trading. So don't do that. That's why we use stop losses. You pay very big fees when you get liquidated. And of course, you pay big fees when you go market orders as well. So we want to reel that in and avoid that as much as we can. All right, so by now you have a very good understanding of how to use the platform and a little bit of an understanding of the strategy, but I want to dive a lot deeper into that now so that we can actually start really putting this to action here on Blofin. But before we continue, if you haven't already signed up, now is the time. You can do this while watching the video in the background. Again, this link here does not require you to use KYC. That's just how the exchange is right now. And you're going to get thousands of dollars in bonuses when you do start trading using this link. And you've already been able to see just how quick all of that can get off the ground. So definitely do take advantage of that now if you haven't done so already. But if we do continue on here, one of the first things that I want to show you before we start looking at strategy is just another way to manage trades, something that's actually very, very powerful. If this time we go ahead and use market for the same kind of trade, and I'll just put in, let's say, 28% of my capital, I'm not going to choose a TP or a stop loss. I'm just going to go ahead and click buy. It's going to allow me to confirm that I'm going to buy this much of the token at a market price. So that's basically whatever the current price of the market is. That's what I'm going to buy it at. We can see that I've already got my order in here now. And what I can do is I can actually, over here, I can go ahead and on the chart, I can click, for example, I want to buy if the price is lower, or up top, I can sell if the price is higher. So that's already really cool. I can kind of very, very easily choose what I want to trade and where. But I can also do it from here. And this is also very cool, right? So if I go ahead and click on this plus icon, I can actually choose that, like, I don't know exactly where I want to take profits, but I know with my rule set, for me, a 25% profit is good enough. So I can just punch in 25 and it's going to automatically fill in what price this trade would close at. And it's going to tell me my dollar profit as well. And it's the same thing on my loss. If the maximum loss I'm willing to tolerate is, let's say, I don't know, 12%, it's already going to punch that in for me. And it's going to tell me what I actually stand to lose. And that way I can get my stop loss and take profit orders set just like that automatically on the chart, and I can even move them around, right? So if I'm not happy with it, or if I want to change it, I can just drag this a little bit lower, or I can move it higher. We'll get the success thing up there, and we'll also see that our TP now is at 17 cents, and you can see that reflected right here as well. It's now at 17 cents for the trigger as well. So that's another phenomenal way to kind of manage positions and just kind of do it on the fly, do it super quickly. Again, all of this stuff is going to be quite similar on your phone as well, which is absolutely great. Before I continue, obviously, I've got to make it clear that any style of trading you do on crypto or anywhere else, your capital is going to be at risk. You have a significant chance of losing your money. And especially with this type of trading, because this is leverage trading, it's basically everything happens faster, right? So if you're going to lose your money, you're going to lose it a hell of a lot faster here. But if you're going to make money, you're going to make it a hell of a lot faster here too. So you got to keep that in mind. This is obviously not going to be easy, but if you're watching channels like this, you might learn a thing or two and gain a little bit of confidence. So again, we got a little bit of a profit here. I'm just going to close that as it is. I'm just going to go ahead and click close all because it's so damn easy. And I want to start showing you some of that strategy stuff now that I've been teasing throughout this video. If you have been enjoying this one so far, then do me a favor and smash up the likes and just double check that you are subscribed so that you don't miss out on this time sensitive content, because we do post content around the clock whenever the market is moving for, the kind of trades that I'm looking at and so on and so forth. Which is super, super exciting. But again, we can just kind of see what kind of coins we've got here. Again, we've got AI right here, for example. And I always like to just kind of sort by percentage change, because like I said toward the beginning of this video, for me, it's very important that I'm actually getting into coins when they're already dropping, especially if I want to buy them, because I don't want to buy on green days, right? A very, very good friend of mine who I've had in this space for 7 years told me that if you're buying coins when they're in the green, then you're doing it the wrong way. You're doing it opposite, right? And it's super obvious to say out loud, but when you haven't heard it or you haven't thought of it before, it can actually be eye-opening, and it certainly was for me. Let me know if it was for you as well. So we've already identified that people is one of the biggest losers. This 1000 rat coin definitely down by a little bit more, but I'm not really liking that volume here. So I'm going to stick to people, which has hundreds of millions of dollars traded in the last 24 hours. And again, we've got the chart right here, and there's so many different things we can do with these charts. If you go to other YouTubers, they're going to show you all sorts of complicated strategies. But for me, like I said, I've been trading these markets for 7 years. I've pulled amazing profits in these markets, even just, with Bitcoin that I went long on, for example, at 21K. I'm still in that trade. That's over a 2,000% profit. I'm able to pull these kind of profits off because I actually keep things super simple, right? I'm not here to complicate my life. I like making money easily. That's why I became a trader. And so, for me, what I'm actually quite interested in is just kind of looking for these horizontal support areas on the chart, right? And if I'm able to draw them out, then guess what, guys? I'm just going to buy wherever I see horizontal support. And I can already see another zone right here where the market has produced some bounces. We could even drag this box a little bit lower down to here at about the 10-cent area for this people coin right here. And I think it's quite fair to say that, these are two quite nice potential buy zones that I'd be interested in. I can also go ahead and go to the indicators section, and I can type in Ichimoku cloud, for example, and I can bring up my Ichimoku cloud. I've got a specific set of settings that I like to use, which are as follows: 20, 60, 120, and 30. I've got a dedicated video on how to use this indicator as well, if you're curious. But again, I've got some really nice support here with the Ichimoku cloud right here where people is. So that's just more confirmation for me that this is a potential buy zone. This is a really cool indicator, because it actually predicts where your support or resistance might be in the future, which is super, super cool. Here is a slightly clearer view of the very same thing here that I've got. And again, if you guys actually want to see what this indicator is in depth, you can go ahead and type this into the YouTube search bar, or you'll probably find it links below where you can get my full tutorial on how to get and use this indicator. It's completely free of charge, which is absolutely sick. So definitely check that out if you're interested. And if I zoom out a little bit further, I can start to see that on these larger time frames, we've also got the Ichimoku cloud lining up with that 10-cent area that I was just telling you guys about, right? So again, what I like to do is build confluence. If I can see that multiple different signs are kind of lining up at the same price levels, and that's actually going to make me feel pretty confident about what I'm seeing here. So that's absolutely great. Let's take a look at this on the daily, and we don't have enough price history really to print something huge on the daily here. But from the 4-hour perspective, this 10-cent area looks great for a buy. And I would probably, look, I'm not looking to do crazy things here. I would probably just do something like this from this support area up to this level. That's a 20% move. I've already spoken to you guys about using 3x leverage. That would actually give me a 60% profit because I'm multiplying the percentage move by my leverage. So, 20 times 3 is 60%. If I put in $1,000, I'm walking away with $1,600. If you're trading these markets with the free money that they're giving you, then for example, if you've managed to pull in this $2,500 bonus, you do the math on what 60% profit looks like there. It is well over $1,000, which is absolutely sick. Very, very cool to be able to trade with free money and then withdraw the profits that you get from it. So very, very cool offers there. And that's actually something that, people ask me, for example, if I were to start from scratch again, how would I do things? I would just milk the fuck out of these bonuses. That's the truth. I would just get as many of these bonuses as I can. They are throwing out free money, and I am not scared of taking it. And so yeah, I would just basically look at buying these support levels. And if the chart is flipped upside down and actually we're trending downwards, then I would do the same thing in reverse. I would still look at this indicator. I would still look at where our easy support resistance levels are. I mean, you guys saw me identify this just within seconds when you started watching this video, because it's very clear with these candles that whenever the price kind of came up to this particular price level, it got rejected, it got rejected, it got rejected, right? 3 times in a row here. And so, it is fair to expect support here. It doesn't mean we're going to get support, but we're not looking for definites, right? I think this is something a lot of people get wrong in the markets. We're not looking to be correct 100% of the time. And we're not looking to be, perfect. We're just looking to be correct most of the time, or even half of the time is good enough. A lot of people don't get that, but as long as you're not losing too much money, and every time you make money, it's a good amount of money, you can even lose more times than you win and you'll still make money, right? So there's a couple different perspectives you can take there. But with that, ladies and gents, I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial on how to use Blofin and a little bit of a look at the strategy that I would actually use here. Obviously, like everything I do on this YouTube channel, nothing I'm giving you is financial advice. Always do your own research. There are many alternative exchanges if you don't like Blofin, but this one is a phenomenal option right now in the crypto market. If you want to see more content from me, then double check that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. And of course, if you haven't already taken advantage of the offers, that link is right there for you below the like and subscribe button. I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.